All right, my friends, the day has finally come. The day has arrived in which I may need to admit that I, Seri of Zoodesia Zoo in ZooCrafting, may actually have a plant problem. I know. The shocked sounds coming from all of you, I can hear it now, or perhaps it is simply the growling of a zombie in my ear. What nonsense is this? I have a zombie under my house right now. I cannot believe this. And you know why? You know why, my friends? That a zombie has invaded my front yard? Because I put down too many plants yesterday when I was being a cheerful Seri, thinking about my cheerful events with Chips, and we planted all of those beautiful cherry blossom trees, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna look so beautiful when they're all here. We can dance in the petals. Yay, spring. Yeah, it also brought shadows with it, and in the wake of those shadows has arrived, are you guys ready for this? A zombie. I am so offended right now. I cannot believe that my plant-loving ways have managed to pop a zombie into my yard. You, sir, are not welcome here. My goodness, that was quite the toss. And he had... Oh, no, not his head! Die, little zombie head! Oh, he actually almost bit my little toes. Thank goodness I am wearing the steel leaf boots. Oh my gosh, he did get me. I got hunger. Ew, that was so bad. And he didn't even have that was so rude. He did not even have the politeness enough. He didn't have the courtesy to leave any of that gold armor. I was really hoping he would leave the gold armor because we could smelt it down into normal gold, and then we would be able to go ahead and give that gold to the villagers, giving back to those to whom the zombies have taken from so much. Oh my goodness. And that little buzzy sound is actually my little green dragonfly. You must be like 2.5 now, little buddy. Just living there in my bush. You're kind of like Bat Moth in the kitchen that way. Maybe we should give this dragonfly a little name too, huh? Like Green Guardian? I'm not sure. If you guys could help me come up with a fun name for this dragonfly, that would be really adorable, because he's been here about as long. Well, not as long as Batmoth, because Batmoth is from the old world. But we do... Ooh, my door was open and everything. It doesn't bode well for zombombies. But we do actually have Batmoth, a moth who lives in my kitchen, who actually got stuck in my kitchen in the old world, and came to this world too, because I love him very much. And oh my goodness, are there ever so many tiny little creatures and little hidden bits of joy scattered all throughout our world that I need to get that wiki up and going so you newbies can figure out what the heck I'm talking about. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back to the zoo, my friends, where we have cherries. Wow! The cherry blossom tree grew into the cherry tree. You're not normally supposed to be able to get cherries from cherry blossom trees. Oh, this is so beautiful and cool. This is why you should do lots of garden experiments. You can end up with such amazing results. Oh, that makes me happy. And I know we're supposed to get back to the Cathedral of Light, but I am mildly offended, to say the least, that my yard had zombies, and I'm trying to decide if I just want to smack down torches now or if we should go. It's because of this. But can we just take a moment, guys, to appreciate how beautiful this is? Excuse you? I heard you. Lily, is he over here? Lily, where is he? Lily, let's get him. Let's get him. Where's that zombie? I heard that growl. That was the capybara of spring. I don't want to go and just leap at the capybara of spring with my glorious grafter ready to smack him in the face. But yes, as you can see, my friends, the cherry blossoms are stunning. I really, really love how this came together, actually. But I did not think it through that the fact that we would have all of these cherry blossoms would mean that we would also end up with lots of shadows, which mean zombies. And again, I never had to worry about that. I didn't. I lived a blissful life in a blissfully happy world where zombies never showed up in any of my territory. I would have to fly on like sunflower or aster seed far across the world before I would run into any kind of hostile mobs. But then I lost the Sword of Light, which a little birdie has been trying to tell me may have had something to do with losing confidence in doing ZooCrafting and being part of this world, of letting people's opinions of what this place is matter more to me than my opinion of what this is. But those are deep thoughts for another day. However, ones I think that really strike to the heart of the matter, and my responsibility in coming back to zoo crafting and coming back to the joy and passion of my own heart of being here. Oh, Lily's wagging her tail as I say that. Lily, I love you too. Oh, I have tears in my eyes. Literal tears in my eyes right now. But my responsibility to bear after having let myself and so many down in gentle ways, but truly in letting myself down, of leaving the world for so long and not sticking around because I let other people's opinions calling ZooCrafting boring matter more to me than my opinion of loving this world, is the fact that I did lose the Sword of Light, and now I must clean up the mess that I have made by admitting the fact that my yard, whenever a shadow is cast now, has the chance of having a monster appear. And it didn't used to be that way. But there are consequences to our actions, even if our actions were just trying to ignore a situation, aren't there, Keepy Bear of Spring? Oh, Lily, let me go ahead and give you a hug. That went unexpectedly deep. Curses, I'm trying to get over that bad habit of rambling about the depths of life as we begin our adventures in the zoo. Give me time, my friends, and soon we will be able to overcome that, though I'm told by many of you that that's one of the reasons that you love what we do, so maybe not. All right, well, let's see. What can we do to light up the yard? Because the whole point of making the yard look so beautiful and full of cherry blossoms was knowing that the feeling of spring was going to be right behind us. That we would be able to come back after we do all of our adventures out in the world and know that back at home, spring was waiting for us to enjoy. We could picnic. In fact, we should set up a little picnic blanket. Do I have picnic blankets in this world? I'm pretty sure I do. I keep hearing a zombie noise. Oh, I can make a cute little picnic basket and a little picnic blanket right over here. Oh, that would be so cute. But we were supposed to be able to come and just enjoy ourselves here. And I can't exactly feel like I'm going to enjoy my yard if I'm going to come back home. And because it's a little bit overcrowded with trees now, whoops, it's going to be full of zombies. But the problem with Treecapitator is if I knock down one of these trees, the whole forest is going to be knocked down. So I need to move very carefully. I kind of feel like maybe I can remove this tree. So I'll have to just do this one by hand. And then I have an idea actually over how we can light this area up so that when I come back, I'm not going to see a bunch of zombies waiting for me. That's literally the opposite of what I want to do. And who knows, if I don't take care of the situation, I may come back home and I may one day find that there is yet another creeper in with Martha, and that is just too much. All right, so I think that thankfully the cherry blossoms can still be supported by all of the cherry trees around it. There we go. And I have an idea that I would like to test out for how we could, oh, thank you, Keepy Bear of Spring, a clover patch, that's adorable. But I do have an idea over how we could light this area up that isn't going to involve just smacking down torches, because I like to try to be a little bit more elegant than that, especially in my own yard. First, I need to find a pair of shears, though. So let's see, Martha, how do you do? By the way, Martha, is there a zombie in the house? I keep hearing one growling. I do indeed hear a zombie growling. Hem. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, sir. Sir, wait, sir. No, please, I want to help you. No, stop. I really, truly want to help you. Be careful. Be careful. If you go outside, you're going to die. No, Jay. We could have helped him. I love you. I love you. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. If you had just given me another minute, I could have helped you. This is what I get. Oh, I feel so guilty. If I had the Cathedral of Light built, if I had had a safari net on me, if I didn't have shadows and left my door open. I literally left my door open to shadows. This is getting so dramatic. Oh, I feel so bad. That poor zombie. He was a villager. He still had a scrap of himself there that I could have tried to help bring back, and now he's dead, and it's not your fault, Tate. You were just trying to protect your mom. I will never hold that against you. I literally have villagers and zombie villagers in this chest. There's so much to do in the zoo, my friends. Oh my goodness, is this literally a clipboard that it's literally a clipboard that has an entire list of to-dos that I have did that I have to notted. All right, well, let's take care of this matter. It's getting dark again, and with the darkness out in my yard, that's gonna get pretty hectic pretty darn fast. Gosh, I can't believe I'm just so shadows and zombies. This is not cool. And now look at me. I'm flinching every time I turn around in my own house. This is what ignoring a problem does. If I can be a serious Seri for a moment, this is what ignoring a problem does. You think, oh, you know, maybe if I can just ignore this problem for a while, I just don't feel strong enough to deal with that right now. And so you ignore it and you walk away from it and you think like, oh, I'm sure I can come back and it'll be perfectly fine to come back to this later when I have the energy, when I have the time. And the reality is, time often moves on without you. Your world of bliss in a home of your second heart becomes full of shadows and becomes full of eyeball bushes and full of trouble. So no, I need to have more courage. That's actually, believe it or not, since we're already like knee deep into talking about such deep issues, my friends, but having courage and having the ability to follow through on the things I'm supposed to do, courage and discipline, are actually two of my big goals for this year that I like wrote copious pages in my journals about and thought deeply on. But I wish to have courage and discipline so that never again will I turn away from something I love because of the opinions of others. And never again will I find myself dragging my feet on and on and on and not taking care of a situation. And never again will I find myself thinking that I could ignore something that does not deserve to be ignored and come back to it later, because it doesn't always work out. All right, anyway, you guys know most of that by now. I'm told by many of you, especially our fantastically adorable, wonderful patrons, that those rambles are appreciated. So I try to toss them in there even if it makes me nervous sometimes. There we go. Meanwhile, I am bringing light to my garden. So what do you guys think? I think this is a good way to light the area up without having to have torches all over the place. And every torch I put on the ground, after all, and go away, little patch of snow. But every torch I put on the ground also ends up being like a spot where I cannot grow something later. And I was so happy to see how many of you guys are thinking about doing like a summer garden. That really made me happy. All right, well, let's prune some of these cherry blossom trees. And while we're pruning them, we can come up and we can actually put in some light sources using carpenter's blocks and cherry blossoms. So now the cherry blossoms themselves hold light. How lovely is that? I think the capybara of spring is quite happy with this solution because it also means he doesn't have to worry about zombies, like literally in his face. And I do want to come through. This cherry blossom tree is quite lovely, but I do want to have it feel like it's open enough that I can see, for one, the hedgehog's adorable little nest, and for another, that it doesn't feel, it should still feel like my home and not just like you're walking in. Wow, there's a lot of cherry blossoms. Here, we'll add in a little mix of various colors. That's kind of nice. All right, and then we'll grab the white cherry blossoms. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty, guys. I love it. We'll have to do something in the future about all of the snow on top of some of my trees. Maybe we'll like climb to the tops. And I hope that, I wonder, I guess I need to jump on top of the trees too. I don't think that anything could like show up and appear out of the shadows of the top of the trees. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but huh. All right, well, I think this is good down here. And then maybe we'll kind of clip off the bottom of some of these just to open the area up. And I do need to move this bee box. Right now it is literally just a floating bee box in the middle of the air, which is quite at the feat. I mean, those bees, can you imagine all of the bees in the hive right now buzzing their little wings as fast as they can to keep the bee box in place? Oh, there's not even anything in here. I need to put a queen bee in here. All right, well, let's put this up. There we go. Wonderful. All right. And let's put down a couple more spots. Whoops. I kind of oh my gosh, guys. How beautiful is this? We should have a moon viewing party. Where are my notes? Moon viewing party. Gotta write this down. Writing it down right now. Moon viewing party with cherry blossoms. We can make some sort of special food and enjoy it, and then come together and just watch the moon one evening, because that is beautiful. Oh, our world is a beautiful place, and I love it, and I need to fight hard to make sure that in between all of the silly chaos that we do with the zoo— where did my block go? Excuse you, block. There we go. But in between all of the silly chaos that we do with the zoo, I do need to make sure that we keep the shadows out of this world too. I mean, where there's light, there's going to be shadows, don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between the shadows that you have allowed to grow there out of your own fears. And it's fine to be afraid of things, and it's fine to be nervous about things. But everybody knows in their hearts, once they reach a certain age, when you are allowing your fear to rule your life, and you are not allowing yourself to follow through on the things that you really love. And that is unacceptable. That is not the ZooCraftian way. That is not the way of courage and discipline, which are also things I want to cultivate. Because honestly, guys, I've had people tell me in my life that I am not brave, that I am not courageous, and that I can never be so. And I'm going to prove them wrong. I am going to prove them wrong indeed. And we are going to continue on with our wonderful adventures. All right, there we go. Wonderful. Ah, much better. And now hopefully we will not end up with zombies all over my yard. And when we come home, we can look out at this beautiful, beautiful sight. We can see all of the lovely cherry blossoms that just will continue to come down for all of spring. Let's try to find patches where we can remove the torches if possible. We might have to add extra, we might have to come in and we might have to add extra cherry blossoms. Kind of tightly in to keep the area lit enough, since I know glowstone is not as strong as a torch. Can't blame it. I mean, glowstone is glowstone and a torch is literally fire. I could see why one is stronger than the other. Hello, Alia. It's good to see you. I think I'm gonna trim this little spot back a wee bit too. It'd be lovely if I could do something with cherry blossoms. Oh, I wonder if there's something cherry blossom related in the apple milk tea mod. Ah! Alia! Apparently I have not yet filled the area with enough light out of the shadows. I apologize for that, Alia. No! Bad creeper. Thank you, however. Oh my goodness gracious, he gave me his head. Well, it's been a little while since I've had one of those. I don't think I've ever gotten a creeper head in Zoodesia, actually. Apparently you can use it as a firework star. Excuse you? What? You can make creeper-shaped fireworks? I had no idea. I truly did not. But I mean, I guess I should be appreciative to the gentle creeper, if one could call him so, because he did show me where apparently I neglected to fill in some patches of light. Anyway, clearly we need to kind of like tuck in the light to get away from the shadows a little bit more, but it's a good metaphor to begin the new year off. There you go. More Seri life lessons. Stuff down your gullet as though you're my little chickadees, and I am your over-anxious mama hen. All right, well, now that we have managed that, I'm pretty sure this should be good. Now that we need a couple more over here, I think. And if needed, you know what we could actually make? And we'll be good on this for now until it's time to come in and like decorate the garden someday. But we can make some fairy lights, and we could string fairy lights through here. And I think that would be quite lovely. And that would also help us to figure out how to keep this area well lit enough that we don't have to worry about anybody while we're out adventuring. Okay, I'm gonna put another one right over here. I know that glowstone is not as strong as torches, but I love the look of glowstone so much more. Right? But every time I remove a torch, it gets really dark. Curses. Oh well, and I feel so bad about that zombie earlier. Alright, there we go. Well, this took longer than I estimated, but having some plant problems is actually the running theme of my day, my friends. Because earlier, if you were watching my Twitter, you may have seen some rather hilarious tweets from me where I My keyboard died today, and I'm actually borrowing Chips's keyboard. So if I'm moving about a little bit oddly, it's because I had to borrow his so that I could record ZooCrafting. But Chips and I made dinner together, and it was so wonderful and sweet and romantic and everything you always hope such an escapade shall be, including delicious. We made some beefy seitan, which seitan is like a wheat sort of product that actually has a consistency surprisingly like beef that vegans use to kind of replace having beef for their meals. And it actually is amazingly good. It looks terrible, and I am as dubious about it as I was about getting into tofu, where I was like, no, never, you can't make me, even though I've been vegan for like 6 years now. But this year we finally decided, you know what, this looks like a really good recipe. So even though we were pretty hesitant, we decided to try out the beefy seitan with asparagus, and it's amazing. So we made that, and then we made some delicious desserts together, and it was wonderful and sweet. And I came upstairs and sat down to begin to tell all of you about the wonderful day I had with my Chips while we built over at the Cathedral of Light. And you know what was in the middle of my desk, my friends? My keyboard, completely, utterly soaked in a literal puddle of water. And how did that happen, I hear you ask? Well, my friends, it was the plant problems, which then I logged into ZooCrafting to find that we had here too. I overwatered the plants that sit on the top hutch of my desk. The hutch being this little U-shaped flat on top arch that I shoved and covered with plants, as you have probably seen in my office tour video. And, well, actually I need these pieces. Yeah, guys, I overwatered my plants, and as a result, when I came back upstairs after a good couple hours of cooking with Chips downstairs, my keyboard had been sitting in a puddle of water for almost 2 hours, and all of the middle keys that had been the worst spots where the water had been no longer worked. So we have a new keyboard. We tried the trick of putting it with rice and everything like that. Unfortunately, this was far too far gone for even that kind of gentle help. So we tried all of the tricks. The tricks didn't work, and now we are actually ordering a new keyboard that, thanks to the glories of Amazon, will be here soon. However, all I could think as I stared at my keyboard, which was no longer functional, and is actually a very special type, so that it will be, well, it's just a cheap Amazon keyboard, but it's special to me, okay? Because it doesn't make a lot of noise, so you guys won't hear a lot of clicking. But all I could think as I stared at that and laughed was that, of course, I would be somebody to whom this would happen because of my plant obsession. Because I am obsessed with plants and I love plants. Of course, I would overwater my plants. And how does Seri destroy her keyboard that she desperately needs to keep functioning so that we can continue to have ZooCrafting episodes? She does it by plants. I killed my keyboard through plants. And all I could think was, of course I would. All I could do was just nod to myself and laugh at the hilarity of it, because of course I would. If I was going to do anything that was going to be a bit of a mistake or kind of ridiculous and silly or destroy anything, it would be through the power of plants. And so today, my friends, I brought shadows unto my home in Zoodesia. And I also ended up destroying my real-life keyboard because I overwatered my plants. And then I brought the shadows into Zoodesia because I planted too many plants. Chips would possibly say I have too many plants in real life, but then he knows that I would look at him with like tears in my eyes. What the heck was that? Did this thing literally like auto? What? Sprinkler, can you really auto hoe an area? It can try! Huzzah! Well, at least we've come out today richer in a creeper head and beautiful glowing petals in here, and I am gonna have a new keyboard. Huzzah! And maybe I'll order a second one as an emergency backup. But what a day, guys. What a day. And I apologize because, yes, I am fully aware that we got nothing on our list of lost quests done. But it was sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. In fact, that kind of is the essence of what zoo crafting is truly becoming. But don't worry, there'll be fantastic animal facts and mini adventures in the zoo, slowly wiggling and worming and winding its way back here soon. I think next time we'll plant just a few plants before we head back over to the Cathedral of Light, so that we can have fun harvesting them now and then when I'm just in the mood to be in the garden. But I am very much in the mood to get that cathedral up and built and prepared. Let's see. My last wild mushroom pizza infused with basil from Eros. Oh, just brush away a tear of joy eating that. Oh, even though it's like 2-year-old pizza. But yeah, we might plant some cherry or some little strawberries next time just to kind of get that up and going. And then back over, finally, to working on the beautiful glass windows of the Cathedral of Light, which, as the shadows have deepened in corners I was not even aware of in my own backyard, is clearly becoming an even more important resource for us to build and to rely on. And it would be interesting to see if little birdies possibly showed up at that cathedral that could give me a little bit more insight into how I lost my way and how I might really, really focus on my goals of being more courageous and disciplined and compassionate this year. So I'll see you guys next time. And also don't overwater your plants if they're next to your keyboards. Bye, guys.